Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. We're going to talk Cub legend Shawon Dunston, one of my favorite all-time Cubs. And there's a couple of stats that Shawon has that are a little bit mind-blowing that we'll cover here very shortly. But Shawon was inducted into the Cub Baseball Players Hall of Fame in 2023, along with, at the same time, with Mark Grace. And I just thought it was time for me to get a tribute to Shawon Dunston up on the channel. It'll be there in case anybody needs to see it, hear it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get to let's kind of go back and reminisce a little bit about Shawon Donnell Dunston, born March 21st, 1963. Played in the major leagues from 1985 through 2002. And Cubs Hall of Fame on January 13th of 2023, a member of the 2023 Chicago Cubs Hall of Fame class. Dunston was the first overall pick in the 1982 Major League Draft, picked by the Cubs, first overall in 82. Played for the Cubs from 85 to 95, then again in 97. Played for the San Francisco Giants in 96, 98, 01, and 02. With the Pirates in 97, a year with the Indians in 1998, and 2 years with the Cardinals, 99 and 2000, and had a stint with the New York Mets in 1999. He was a two-time All-Star, and once in 1988, and then again in 1990. Let's do Shawon's early life. Shawon is from Brooklyn, and as a youth, he lived in the Linden Apartments. It was a public housing facility with his dad, Jack, and his mother, Brenda, a younger sister, Kendra. Jack was a cab driver and delivered furniture, and his mom, Brenda, worked in a woman's clothing store. Shawon went to high school at Thomas Jefferson High School in Brooklyn. He played on the school's baseball team as an infielder. His senior year, guys, at Thomas Jefferson, Dunston batted .790. And I'm saying it again in case you think maybe I misspoke. In Dunston's senior year of high school, he hit .790. He had 10 home runs, stole 37 bases without being caught stealing. Small sample size, just 26 games, but Shawon Dunston hit .790. And I remember that at the time. It's always been in my mind who has the highest high school batting average that I've ever heard of, and it's always been Shawon Dunston. That's .790. As a shortstop, Shawon was considered one of the best prospects available in the 82 draft. Cubs took him first overall. He was the first player from the New York area to be chosen with the first overall pick in the draft. For whatever reason, he opted to represent himself in that draft. Whether that was good or bad, I'm not sure. But he signed a one-year contract with the Cubs for $100,000. It's hard to put in. I don't know. That's how long ago that was, but $100,000 on one-year contract sounds pretty light. So Shawon was assigned to rookie level minor league baseball in the Gulf Coast League. He played in the minor leagues and worked his way up over the course of 4 years. Played 53 games in rookie ball, 117 games in single A with Quad City. In 84, he played 134 games in two levels, Double A and Triple A. Spent 1984 with Iowa, played 61 games there, and was also the 73 games in Double A. So 4 years in the minors before he pops into the big leagues in 1985. Shawon was competing with Larry Bowa for the role as the starting shortstop for the Cubs in spring of '85. Dunston initially won the job over Bowa, and he made his debut in the major leagues on April 9th. Didn't go well. He struggled offensively and defensively. He only hit .94 and committed 9 errors in 23 games. So as a result of that, he was sent back to the minors, and Bowa regained his starting role. After playing well for the Iowa Cubs, they recalled Dunston in August and released Bowa. So that was the end of the Bowa era. In 1988 and 1990, he joined the double play combination of him and Ryne Sandberg, with Ryne Sandberg as an all-star. So 88 and 90, an all-star with Rhino. And he was a key contributor to the Cubs' National League East Division title in 1989. In 1989, he hit 278, 20 doubles, 6 triples, 9 home runs, and 60 runs batted in, stole 19 bases. He was due to become a free agent after the 91 season. Instead, Dunston signed a 4-year, $12 million contract extension with the Cubs. He injured his back that offseason and required surgery to repair a herniated disc May of 92. The Cubs opted not to protect him from being eligible to be selected in the 1992 Major League Baseball expansion draft, but neither the Rockies nor the Marlins selected him. I guess the back scared him away. After the 95 season, he was granted free agency. Cubs wanted to move Dunston to third base. He didn't want to. He wanted to stay at shortstop. As a result, he signed with the Giants for the 1996 season, received a 1-year contract worth $1.5 million. He again signed with the Cubs for the 97 season on a $2 million contract. On August 31st, 1997, Cubs traded Dunston to Pittsburgh. The Pirates had lost 2 shortstops, Kevin Elster and Kevin Polkovich, to injuries. He hit 2 home runs in the first game with the Pirates and 3 in the first 3 games. He became a free agent after that season, signed a 1-year contract with the Cleveland Indians for $400,000. On July 23, 1998, the Indians traded Shawon to the Giants for Jacob Cruz and Steve Reed. At the time, Dunston was hitting .237. With the Giants, he batted .176 and 51 at-bats, again became a free agent after the season and signed with the Cardinals on a 1-year contract worth $500,000. On July 31st, 1999, Cardinals traded Dunston to the Mets for Craig Paquette. He replaced rookie Melvin Mora on the Mets roster at that time. Dunston became a free agent after the season, signed with the Cardinals for the 2000 season. Signed with the Giants the next offseason, played with them in 01 and in 22. Shawon reached the 2002 World Series, which was his first, as a member of the Giants. He hit a home run off Kevin Appier of the Angels in Game 6, but the Angels had won that game and that series. Dunston's career, he hit .269, 150 home runs, 668 RBIs, played 1,814 games. He seldom walked, so in spite of his batting average, his on-base percentage was the second worst among players with at least 4,500 plate appearances during their careers. Shawon was something of a free swinger. At the end of his career, he was used mainly as a 4th outfielder and a role player off the bench. He wore number 12 while with the Cubs. Sports writer Bill James noted that he described Dunston as an eternal rookie. He was the kind of player that up until the end of his career just seemed to make a lot of rookie mistakes. He was known, especially during his early career, he was known for an especially strong throwing arm at shortstop, and it really was. In my mind, it may be the strongest arm at shortstop I've ever seen. Mark Grace had talked about catching it, and a lot of guys couldn't catch it. Shawon, he threw it so hard that a lot of inferior first basemen had trouble with it. Shawon became eligible for the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2008. He only got 5% of the necessary votes to stay on the ballot, so he was dropped off the ballot after his first year. During his career, he resided in Fremont, California. Shawon has a son, Shawon Jr., who played in the minor leagues. One of Shawon's 3 daughters, Jasmine, became the White Sox Director of Minor League Operations in 2022. So we didn't know that. Let's get into some of Shawon's numbers. Let's start with his overall. He has a career WAR of 11.5, 5,927 at-bats, 1,597 hits, hit 150 home runs. His career batting average, .269, scored 736 runs, knocked in 668, 1,212 or 212 bases stolen. On base percentage, sub 3 at 296, and he slugged 416 for an OPS of 712. And it just struck my mind that I'll talk about it now is during his Cub era, he's really popular, but because of his ups and downs, he was pretty polarizing. And there was a stint where the crowd would have what they called a Shawon-o-meter, and it was a sign that had his batting average, and they would move it, and it was described as the Shawon-o-meter. And I don't think I've ever seen that before or since. Shawon was a two-time All-Star. He did that both with the Cubs. So let's just kind of take a look at Shawon's Cub numbers. In 12 years with the Cubs, he played in 1,254 games, had 4,842 plate appearances, 4,570 ABs, scored 563 runs, had over 1,000 hits for the Cubs, had 1,219 hits, 226 doubles. He hit 107 bombs, knocked in 489, stole 175 bases. His strikeout to walk ratio is not good. Struck out 770 times, walked 171. We can do the math if we want, but we get the idea. He hit 267 lifetime with the Cubs in 12 years. Again, that sub 3 on base. 295 on base percentage with a 407 slug, OPS 702. Shawon played in a total of 8 postseason series, 4 years, and 89 with the Cubs in the National League Championship Series. He hit 316, going 6 for 19 against the Giants. His total postseason numbers are: he hit 275 with a 288 on base, 353 slug in 27 postseason games. He had 14 hits and 1 home run. So Shawon Dunston's postseason career. Let's talk a little bit about his defense. The vast majority of the time he played shortstop. So in total 18 seasons in 1,657 games, Shawon played shortstop 1,363, so all of about 300. He played left field 107 games, center field 75 games, and right field 70 games. Played at second base 25 games, played at first base 16 times, and played at third base 11. So Shawon played all around the field, but vast majority was at shortstop. He had a 967 overall fielding percentage in those 1,363 games. Had a total of 205 errors, 31 assists, 2,287 putouts. So defensively, Shawon Dunston played all over the field, especially later in his career. Shawon is a very popular Cub in my mind. Very exciting. He was a fan favorite, and we will look forward to watching him play and show off that arm. He is very entertaining. And member of the Cubs Hall of Fame, a true Cub legend. Happy to do a tribute to Shawon. It'll be on this channel for people to check out. So, Shawon Dunston, thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Hope you enjoyed it, and go Cubs go.